This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now, your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 263, Diamonds Are Forever from 1971. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate, this is it. This is the final Sean Connery. This is the final 007 that we ever have to watch on this podcast.
We watched them all.
Never say never. Maybe that one-off.
We'll think about
later
it.
down the road.
Yeah, we'll think
But,
about it.
how do you feel going to the last Sean? I know you want to get rid of them all, but look at the last one.
I feel good about it. I feel like it was a cinematic adventure. I feel like it was great because I can literally, if someone comes up to me and says, "Have you seen all the James Bond movies?" I can say yes. So that's always a plus in my book. Can I remember every single one? No. And mostly I forgot the Roger Moore, like the Roger Moore ones. Like I couldn't, except Moonraker. Yeah. I remember that crap. And that one with the hate, like the Haitian voodoo or whatever. I remember that one too. I'm glad it's over. And we've done every single regular Bond film, not that one-off one. So yeah, this is great. I'm glad we made it to the end.
Yeah, no, I've been happy, but I've been like going, okay, now it's time to get to some franchises, some new ones. But I love my Bond movies. Like I still would support them and watch them. But yeah, it was time to go. And now to end it all off, we're gonna be doing with the Diamonds Are Forever. So let's just get right into the opening number. Shirley Bassey again.
Oh wait,
she's saying.
Don't forget Rotten Tomato scores. Give us some Rotten Tomato scores here.
Yeah, okay.
This one, it just continued the trend. The last few have just been going like down. This one is barely fresh, 63% critic score. So but audience score dipping down, 57%. I think people had enough of the Connery Bond films, if you will. So 63 and 57, the lowest of his set of movies.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, right, You Only Live Twice, 67. Then came, I believe, on her Secret Majesty Secret Service, 69. Yep. 71, they brought back Sean Connery. Yep. And this is it. This is pretty much it until Roger Moore came in. So now, let's get right into the opening number. Shirley Bassey, who sang Goldfinger, is back with Diamonds Are Forever. The most iconic.
So I do it one more time before we're done with it, before I never do it again on the show. I gotta tell you something, Alex. This song is the best. This is the best. This is the best. Not only, I'm gonna go so far as to say, not only is this the best Sean Connery song, okay, for his movies, but I would personally probably rank this as like maybe a top 5 ever. And I'm not exaggerating. I love it. And I think, number one, her voice is great for it. I think the music is great. It has a nice like tempo to it. Like this song is great. And you know, I do know it was sampled, like Kanye West sampled it and used it in a song perfectly, by the way. And it almost only enhanced hearing the regular version to me. Like it's elite. So even though the opening credits was whatever, like I'm pretty sure I saw a nipple this time, like straight on. So that was interesting. Maybe 70s are like nipple time. So yeah, it was whatever. You know, there's diamonds and there was silhouette. But just for the song alone, I'm going to give it a 5. I loved it. I would listen to that. And I know you're collecting the vinyls. I bet you like on a vinyl, on nice speakers, it probably sounds incredible.
Yeah, I honestly, I just put it on a few days ago back. Just to hear it. And I love the crackling, and then it goes right into the music. Yeah, I think she did a great job. She sounded amazing. You're right. The silhouettes and everything, it fit. And what made me happy about it was it's the final Sean Connery. He gets a good song, right? Because we talked about it. If he gets a great song, that means can the movie be that good, right? Because so far the trend is good movie, amazing intro, right?
Yes.
True. Now, we're going to figure it out. We're going to say if that trend continues with this one, does he leave in a high note? But I will say this, Shirley Bassey is an excellent choice, so I'm going to give it a 5 with you on that one. But let's get right into it. We gave you guys the Rotten Tomato scores, okay?
Yep.
Now it's time to give you guys our actual score for the final Bond movie review for the podcast. So with that said, lead character for the final time, Sean Connery, Nate.
Be honest with you, he should have stayed home for this one. He should have stayed home for this one. He shouldn't have showed up for work. He should have read that script and said, you know what? I think I was done with the other one. So, yeah, he is definitely older, which I don't think is it's not a big deal to me. I don't really care. You know, we sit here and watch these modern movies like The Equalizer, freaking Denzel Washington's old. I don't care as long as you do awesome stuff. But does he do awesome stuff in this movie? That's the question. And the answer for me was not really. Not really. Now, he seems bored. He seemed bored in the last one. They must have really brought a huge check to his house. One of those big, when they come to your house and you win the prize and it's a big freaking
a big MGM check.
Yeah, they brought him the Publishers Clearinghouse check. And they were like, here, man, $5 million, which probably back then was like astronomical. Please do it one more time. That's my only explanation, because he seemed like he didn't want to be there. As far as the character, this is his, like, there's nothing. What, like, they didn't add nothing to the character. Where's all the, like, there's none of the good, like, M is in it, but they don't really have any great banter. No money penny, great banter. Like, even the girl, Sean Connery somehow managed to seem uninterested in the women in this movie. Like, they're there. He's like, you want to come back to my room? Okay, we're coming to my room. They throw the girl out the window. He just lets them. It's like, chilling in the pool, whatever. He's just very whatever about the whole thing. I don't know. I gave him a 3. I feel too bad to go lower than that, honestly, because I just think he's so iconic. But, man, this is the worst version of Bond for him, in my opinion.
I liked him in the role.
Oh, okay.
I thought, in terms of out of him or George Lazenby,
oh, yeah.
I thought he played him.
You're right.
I would say, but in terms of, this is what I mean. I'm not saying like he was like amazing in this movie. What I'm trying to say is that he fit the role after a 4-year hiatus, right? He left in 70, so like a 3-year hiatus, whatever. 3 or 2 year. He didn't come back for the role. 79, 3-year hiatus. So he actually played him very well. It's just I think it's the script that kind of screwed up with him. That he had to play him like more of a mellow out Bond. But you're right, it could have been the age too. But he was good though. And I'll tell you why, okay?
Yeah.
The beginning 5 minutes was like, okay, he's back. When he was choking everybody out because they killed his wife and he wanted Blofeld, I said, this is the actor that we should have got in the last movie, because you saw acting, I'm not saying at his finest, but I felt he was angry. He was like, yo, where's Blofeld? And they didn't even show him. They just show his hands choking dudes out, going, where's Blofeld?
Fighting karate.
And when
they show him throw that guy in the Japanese looking place, I was like, oh no, we're back. Are we doing Japan again? Like, cause he had come through with that Japanese haircut, but thankfully they didn't show him.
No, he was just there for one man. Blofeld.
Yeah, that scene was pretty good.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I was into it. I was like, you know what? This dude's revenging his wife. He was just like, I want my man. And he got him. He killed him. And I said, yes. Bond killed some dude. Like, straight up killed him. And I was like, yeah, I like that. And it was nonchalant. Him and Moneypenny, he was actually, if you really think about it, he was there with the original Moneypenny and M. So they were all there for the first time in a long time. The only one that wasn't there was Q. I don't even think he had a scene with Q in this movie. There was no Q branch in this movie.
Later, remember, in Vegas. But I don't remember if they were in a scene together. I
don't think they were in a scene together.
They might have been. I know Q was in the casino and the lady comes up to him.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. But yeah, like you saw that banter was still there. So with that, I gave him a 3. I agree with you. I thought it was good. Yeah. I agree with you in one part that he was pretty much done. Like they should have just went with Roger Moore. But I think they couldn't. I just think they were just like, let's just bring him back for one more and then we'll do a search for a new Bond after that. But I thought he did a good job. I didn't think he wasn't sleepy Connery from the last one.
Yeah, that's why I felt comfortable with a 3. It wasn't horrible. It was just he was like 5, and then now
4 and then 3.
4 and 3. And if he did one more, it would have been he would have been like, I hate this now. I don't even want to do this anymore.
No, I agree. I agree with that. All right, here we go. Main villain, Blofeld. Now, this is played by another dude.
Yeah, who is this guy? Okay.
So, he's the guy from Rocky Horror Picture Show. I don't know if you've seen it.
Okay.
He's a narrator for Rocky Horror Picture Show. His name is Charles Gray.
Charles Gray.
He's the guy, if you watch You Only Live Twice, he was the guy that pretty much helped Bond get into Japan. He was like, you need to look for Taka or Tiger or whatever his name was.
And now he's Blofeld. And then
he got stabbed in the back through the wall. That was him. So they re-brought him back in this one for some reason. So they re-brought him back. He wasn't Blofeld before. No. They just used the same actor as Blofeld. I guess at the time, Dr. Loomis became Dr. Loomis and became a hit with Halloween. Yeah. They couldn't afford him.
Well, so I hated this version of Blofeld. I didn't like him. He doesn't even look... Okay, listen. I understand recasting. You know, Felix Leiter, I feel like, has been a different guy in every single movie. But he's also not in like a ton of scenes. He like pops up for 2 minutes and then leaves. You could forget. You could be like, that might have been the same guy. I don't remember. But when you went from Donald Pleasance, right, who was great, bald, scar, cat, accent, to Telly Savalas, no accent, weird ears, no scar, but at least he's bald, to now we went to different accent, hair, no scar, nothing.
Smoking.
It does not even feel like the same guy from the other movies. It really doesn't. And I think this is, and you might like him. I have no idea. This was the worst version of Blofeld to me. His plan, and again, it involves space. He wants to do a freaking laser satellite. This is the ones where it's like, all I can think of is Austin Powers. When the plans are too much like that, like I'm going to steal these diamonds so I can make a laser on a satellite. It's like, okay, you know what? This is too much. The part that cracked me up too with his lair, when those two like henchmen guy, they take him and like a freaking mountain opens and they drive out of the mountain and it comes back down.
Like like a bat cave.
There's like a little fake cactus on it. I'm like, okay. I didn't like him. I don't think the actor was bad. I'm not saying he was bad. I'm sure he played it how they wanted him to, but when you compare, like, he was not as good as Donald Pleasance. I gave him a 2. I didn't really like him. I know he's iconic. I know he's important to the franchise. This is the worst version, and I don't know why he has hair.
Yeah, I agree. I gave him a 2 too.
Oh, okay. Wasn't sure.
I hate when they do the Mission Impossible shit. When it's like multiple dudes, and this one had multiple Blofelds. And I was like, why did we go down this like James Bond is another franchise that loves cloning people, right? Die Another Day did the whole cloning from the Japanese to a white guy. Remember they did that to Graves?
Yes.
I think his name was Graves or something. What's up with that with cloning? Like, just leave it alone.
And he was identical. They looked nothing like perfect, identical surgery.
Yeah, this one had the same thing. I don't know. I was very dumbfounded because I was watching it. He was like, and it was Blofeld. And I was just like, what? Like, and then he had that stupid Southern accent, which I get it. It was a voice box. It was with a tape. And then he was like, hey there, son, what you gonna do there?
Yeah, he said they implanted it in his throat. So you just randomly choose when you want. He just thinks about it and it comes out. Like, I don't understand. Whatever.
Yeah, I was not with that voice box. I thought that was stupid. You couldn't tell which one was the real one. Which I guess that was the whole point. But even I love the part when he kicked the cat. I thought that was funny because you thought he was going to go to the real one.
Shot
and
him in the head with a knife or something. Yeah. That's weird.
It was just so, I don't know. For me, I felt like this Blofeld was lackluster. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about his storyline, his plots. But we didn't get much. I don't feel like we didn't get much of him.
No.
To be honest with you. Yeah, but anyway, I gave him a 2. You gave him a 2. Okay, action scenes.
Oh, Lord. I think we know where this is going with this movie. I didn't like this movie. And not only did I not like it, and I'm not kidding you, I watched this today before we recorded here. So it's very fresh. And it was such a struggle to stay awake through a lot of it. Like, I was watching in my room. Yeah, I know. Okay, I had a long day at work. Whatever. I normally am awake for these movies. Well, and they're good. I'm awake. No problem. So, I'm like, I was struggling. And then I'm like, okay, well, at least when an action scene comes on, maybe it'll get my juices flowing, get my blood pumping. But nope, never, dude. I'll tell you what. I had a score for this action. This will sum up my whole feelings on the action in the movie. I thought the beginning was okay, right? You seen off-camera guy just throw people around. Nothing spectacular, but you're right. Cool. I like a pissed off guy going after people. There's one scene in this movie, but then there's like nothing. There's not a lot of action for a long time. There's a lot of talking. And then there's a scene that happens there that got me to my score. Okay? It got me right to my score. I don't know what I'm giving this already. I don't even need to see the rest of the movie. This is getting this score. And this is when he breaks into that facility and he freaking escapes, driving in a little moon rover with a little cap on it. He's just driving this thing. All these people with regular cars they cannot get him. They cannot catch him. It's impossible. They're freaking flying off of these. I'm like, oh my God. Then these guys come out with little tricycles with big tires on them. Mad little. Like, those little like pocket-sized motorcycles? They're like that, but with big tires. It looks hilarious. I'm like, oh my God, now these guys can't get him either. And then he gets away by somehow jumping out of it and making it still go, and then coming up and then, taking another guy's little tiny motorcycle. Okay, I said, this is so horrible that I know what I'm giving it. But then getting a little car chase scene. I said, okay, now we're a real car with real cars. Okay, the red car, and it's, he's driving around the parking lot. It was kind of funny. He's like escaping them, whatever. And it was not bad. I said, I'm increasing my score. I'm increasing it. But then he tells the girl, lean sideways. And he drives the car sideways. Right? And then the cop goes to do it and he just flips right over. And then she goes like this and leans the other way. And all of a sudden the car is leaning the whole other way than it was when it went in the alley. And I put it right back down. I'm giving it a 1. It's so stupid. It's horrible. There's like a little bit. And then he fights the 2 girls with the bathing suits, Thumper and Bambi. And they're like doing like gymnastics fighting. And I'm like, nah, man, my brain has already left this planet. 1. That was their name, Thumper and Bambi. I said, no, thank you.
The action scenes, I gave it a 2. I liked the driving scenes.
Okay.
I thought the driving scenes were fun. I remember that as a kid. When he goes on the 2 wheels and goes through the wall, I thought it was pretty cool. I still think it looks like a pretty cool practical driving stunt.
It would have been if they didn't add that second part where they just lean the other way and all of a sudden the car's the other way.
Yeah, but it still looked cool. The only thing was that I thought we were going to get more of him driving with the Mustang or the Aston Martin, whatever he was driving. I thought we were going to get more of it with the muscle car, but we didn't. The Rover scene was mad funny. I couldn't stop laughing because you saw the tactical hands and he's in the cockpit. I thought that was funny. Yeah, I thought it was funny. Other than that, the ending at the end was chaotic. Again, another chaotic scene at the end. Everyone's shooting and sending. And I'm like, wait a minute. Blow off this sign, this damn gasoline, whatever the hell this thing is, layer. With no defenses, 6 helicopters, you got no missile launching like to shoot at these people. You allow them to come into your base without even having defenses.
Like this has happened to you before 2 movies ago.
This dude, it was killing me. I said, oh my God, I said, this is so bad. My favorite part of the action is when he goes, lower me down into the water, and Bond is in the thing and he dropped him. You're gonna kill me, you fool. And then he picked him up again and he started slamming him everywhere.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is not as good. Then Bambi grabbed the gun. She shot it everywhere, and then she fell off the oil rig. And I said, nope. I gave it a 2.
Although he was drowning them in the pool. Like, okay, they're beating the crap out of him, and then they get in the pool, and he could just hold them both down, no problem, and then pick them back up. I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah. So, I agree. I gave him a 2. You gave it a 1. Fair. All right. A storyline.
Well, this one, I'm going to file this one under, I didn't know what was going on for like half the movie, really. The whole thing with the diamonds was so hard to follow. I'm like, who is what? What is who? Where are these diamonds going? There's fake ones. There's real ones. And the problem is that the movie then goes like on these little side tangents that have nothing to do with that plot, right? Like, for example, there's this long scene for no reason where they were in the car and they go to the gas station. There's a whole scene in the gas station. I'm like, oh my God, please, like, what, can we move this along? Or the scene in the facility. Like, all of those things, he's doing his spy stuff to, like, I guess, investigate these people. But, man, it makes the whole narrative just, like, it made me forget what they were doing to the point where I honestly was like, I felt like Dr. No again, where I was like, what is happening? Like, why is this happening? What's the goal here? There's no momentum in the storyline to me. Like, it doesn't have a good pace. It's just very like plotting and it's going along. Stuff happens, but like the story is not really progressing. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, after 30 minutes, they'll mention the diamonds again. Like, oh, we're back to the diamonds again. So, I didn't like it. I gave it a 2. I think it's a bad script, personally. I don't think it's a very well written movie at all.
Yeah, I gave it a 2 also. I agree with you. It was like all over the place in terms of the diamonds. Like, I didn't know which way we were going to go. Like, is it a full like, I thought it was going to be like, is it a Mr. Freeze device that you put the diamonds in and it freezes everybody?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know what the hell was going on. And then I was just like, the movie fell apart for me because you got these 2 assassins, Wit and Kit, and I thought they were pretty cool. But then it was just like, they were wasted.
Yeah.
Right? For this plot that for me, it was just like, it's just I didn't like it. Again, the movie's called Diamonds Are Forever, but the plot point had nothing to do with diamonds. It was just lasers. And then even if I look at the actual plot of the movie, you're gonna go, this is not even what the hell what we were watching.
What does it say?
Says a diamond smuggling investigation leads James Bond to Las Vegas, where he uncovers an evil plot involving a rich business tycoon.
Yeah, I guess loosely, right? Like because maybe they didn't want to give away that Blofeld is the villain. You know what I mean? And it's that other guy, the casino guy that they like kidnapped. And you're right. That is a horrible description. It's a vague. I think it's what they wanted to make, and then they ended up making something else.
Yeah,
honestly,
I agree. I was not into it as much. I thought it was boring at times. Well, a lot of times in this movie. Yeah. I give it a 2. I agree with you. It's a 2. All right, overall.
Okay, overall, I didn't like this one. This is my least favorite. I think Dr. No was better. I watched that at this point, I watched it 6 weeks ago, and I already remember it better than this movie, and I watched this 2 hours ago. You know what I mean? There was more memorable parts. There was nothing memorable in this movie for me. Nothing. It's another one where he uses a code name instead of Bond, so you don't get a lot of the great, classic lines. Bond, James Bond. None of that, because he's Frank, whatever his name is. And, the Bond girls, again, pretty weak. I didn't really care for that girl. She was whatever. She was bad, and then she switches to be good. And he just lets her all the way, she then meets Felix Leiter and Q, and then she knows everybody. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about that. The villain was weak. The script was weak. The only reason I'm not going to give it a 1 is I did like the setting. I always think it's cool to see Vegas back then, because I've been there a few times. I've been to Vegas 4 times. So I love seeing movies and stuff where they have the old, how it used to look. So I like the setting. I think Bond in Vegas was cool. I did like the part where he's on the building and he goes up the elevator and then he swings with the little cables. He shoots the cables and he's swinging. That was an okay scene. But other than that, that's it. I gave it a 2. I was bored for the most part. It was confusing, bad villain, bad action. Not for me.
Yeah, I give this movie a 2. I was not into. I mean, yeah, Sean Connery's last one, and all right, it was better than You Only Live Twice. I'll say that, but not by margin, dude. Not by a lot. To me, it was just Though it could have been better. The storyline, if you're gonna use diamonds, I think they could have did a cooler. If you're gonna go diamonds, I think they should have went more in a route of more smuggling. He's in Africa or something, and they try to do with dimes, diamond mines or something, something cool like that.
Yeah,
but no, it did not work for me. I just thought that was lackluster. Not much Q gadgets in this one. Yeah, so pretty much. And then the Bond girl, she was hot. The girl was hot. I thought she was cute.
Yeah, she was pretty.
Nothing there at all. So yeah, I gave it a 2 on that one. All right, total points.
Ooh, this was a low one for me. Did not really enjoy it. A 10 out of a 25. I didn't see this coming. I thought, you mentioned, we've come to the point of dang, all the really, really good ones we have awesome songs too. So I was like, uh-oh, this song is really good. I'm going to like this movie, I think. Goldfinger, amazing. Skyfall, amazing. GoldenEye, great. This one failed it. This movie failed that great song. 10 out of 25.
Yeah, I do agree with you. This has to be the one that has a great song, but not as good of a movie behind it. So I gave it an 11. It's pretty. I think it's the lowest one I think so far.
For you? Yeah. For me too. But for both of us.
Yeah. So I'm very disappointed in this one. But so far, I will say this though: Sean Connery has some great movies.
I agree.
I'm not gonna lie. For the 60s, he dominated the 60s. I will say that. He only had one lackluster, and it was You Only Live Twice. And then came this one. This one was kind of
I mean, he was in 6 movies, and the last 2 made me even maybe appreciate Dr. No a little bit more. So honestly, I would say he really only had 2 bad ones. I don't think Dr. No was bad. It was just not the best. But the Goldfinger, From Russia with Love, and the other one. I can't remember the name right. The 4th one.
We did them all. I forgot.
I don't freaking remember all the names of these Bond titles are so. From Russia with Love, Thunderball. Thunderball. I didn't like the underwater action, but it was at least looked cool. There's things about it that I liked. So I think on the whole, he has a good 75%. 70% of his movies are good. Honestly, that's pretty good ratio.
Yeah, I mean, 2 out of the 6. I mean, that's not bad, to be really honest with you. I mean, I mean, we're not going to go through all the Bonds, but I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I seen the Sean Connery. I don't watch much Sean Connery era, but I got a lot. I can't lie. The first 4 movies are great.
The Goldfinger.
They're really good.
Goldfinger.
That's the best one.
That's one of the best Bond films that I've seen, I think. I would rank it in my top, like, 3 or 4, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with that one. All right, Nate, what is coming up next on the podcast?
All right. So, next up, we are continuing with our monster movies. And you're supplementing it. We're watching some classic ones. So that's always fun. And we're doing The Mummy. But this time, we already did the Brendan Fraser ones. So now we're going with the Thomas Cruise versions. Because there's only one. So we're going to be doing The Mummy, 2017, I believe it came out. And then it's a new franchise, baby. We're done with Bond. No more spying. We're headed out to the high seas because we're going to be doing some Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. So a 5-movie franchise, so one fewer than the last one, but of totally different genre, totally different feel. And I have seen Pirates, the first one, like, a million times. The sequels, though, I don't revisit very often. So I'm actually looking forward to going back and watching the sequels because they're all so long and I never really watch them often. I don't know your relationship with the franchise, but it's one I've always enjoyed for the most part, from what I remember. So we're going to be breaking that one down.
When it comes to the Pirates of the Caribbean, I didn't see the first one in the theater. That I will tell you that, but I loved it. When I saw it for the first time, I was hooked. I was like, "Oh, this is my joint."
You said,
I was like, "I love
timbers.
it."
I like this. movie.
I was all up in it. I was like, I kept belaying my wife all the time because I learned a word. So I was like, belay. So I was like, I was doing it all day. So then, when the second Dead Man's Chest came out, I flocked to the theater and I said, "This is amazing." And then I went at World's End. I think the other one, Strange Tales
on Stranger Tides is the fourth one,
right? With the
that's the one with all only Johnny Depp comes back, like no Keira Knightley, no Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, that's with Philippi Cruz, right? Ian McShane.
Penelope
he plays
Cruz
Blackbeard.
And Ian McShane is Blackbeard. Yeah, that's the fourth.
Yeah,
one.
I saw that one. I didn't see the 5th one with Javier Bardem.
I see them all at the theater. All.
Yeah, I didn't see that one in the theater, but I saw the first. The 2 through 4 I saw in the theater.
Okay.
I was
so you have some experience with these franchise.
I loved them though. I loved them all. Even the 5th one. It's been a while, but I remember when I saw it, I said, you know what? It still has a feel, and I still liked it. It was a great adventure.
I liked the 5th one. So yeah, maybe. Well, I liked it when I saw it at the theater.
I don't know about now.
I don't know. I have not watched it since it came out in the theater. So anyway, we got some monsters. We got some pirates. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. So there you have it, guys. You guys want to follow us in our social media accounts, please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. Anything Action Movie Guys, head over to Instagram at Action Movie Guys Podcast for the latest news and topics that we're covering on the podcast, or head over to www.geeksandflix.com, our official website where you have all 260-something episodes up. Nate's movie reviews for 2023, all my unboxing videos there too. And I'm going to be adding the merch store and all that. But other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
Be awesome to each other and geek out.